Hi, Rail Fanning Adventures, Lincoln, Nebraska. I'm on the eastern side of Lincoln right now. Here comes an eastbound manifest on the Creston sub on BNSS Heartland. I believe this is the Hobson yard to Hobson to Gibson turn. So Lincoln to Omaha. Heading east right now. Rail Fanning Adventures. What have we here? Rio Grande? Might have been the old Rio Grande. Yard to yard turn, Lincoln to Omaha. Rail Fanning Adventures, Lincoln, Nebraska. Alright, Rail Fanning Adventures, Lincoln, Nebraska. I'm down by the stadium right now coming in. And we got an eastbound coming out of the yard right now. Looks like it's a coal drag. We got a manifest heading west in the Hobson yard that's stopped right now, but here comes that coal drag. Eastbound, loaded coal, coming out of Hobson Yard, heading down to Creston Sub, BNSS Heartland Division. Comes Lincoln's Amtrak station that we're going to go by right here, where California Zephyr stops here in Lincoln, right there. And our rear DPU is Foreign Power NS 1220. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Rail Fanning Adventures, Lincoln, Nebraska. I am at the east end of Hobson Yard. This is the lead-in tracks and the start of the St. Joe sub, and we have a westbound manifest coming into the yard. AT44C4 leading 3879 and 7277, an ES44DC, second in the lash-up. And this is a pretty big manifest. Here comes an interesting box car, VS Railroad, Valdost Southern Rail Company. Here's an old original BN, followed by a Santa Fe, followed by another Santa Fe, and another original BN gondola, another one, and one more. Oh wow, and we finally got one that's really green. Rail Fanning Adventures, Lincoln, Nebraska at Hobson Yard. Put this in the holder real quick. And he's switching over to the left side. Probably run through the yard down the left side of Hobson Yard, and then disconnect the power, and then the local power will put this over the hump here at Hobson. Alright, I'll start recording again when he gets moving again. Right now they're lining him up through the yard, so. Rail Fanning Adventures, Lincoln, Nebraska. Alright, our westbound manifest coming into Hobson have started moving again. I got him lined up. See what goodies are on this bad boy. So far we had Santa Fe gondolas and BN gondolas. Got a couple of Burlington Northern PS2 hoppers coming in original paint. Some more BN cars. And here's the end of our westbound manifest coming into Hobson. Rail Fanning Adventures, Lincoln, Nebraska, east end of Hobson Yard. March 20th, 2023, Lincoln, Nebraska, and the local is reversing down the industry track here. There's our conductor riding the shove platform, BN caboose. And this is local power here at a Hobson Yard. Rail Fanning Adventures, Lincoln, Nebraska. March 20th, Lincoln, Nebraska, east end of Hobson Yard. Got an eastbound loaded coal drag that's going to be heading down the Creston sub. Just came out of the fueling rack. Stopped, waited for the local to get out of the way, and now he's proceeding east. 6073 is our leader, followed by 5704. ES44 AC. AC 4400 CW. And a whole lot of coal. A Burlington Northern coal port. I believe Union Pacific will be shoving in the Hobson Yard on the other side of this train momentarily. From the right, coming west to come in the yard. Look like a 70M. And we're gonna have one going south down the St. Joe sub. Just got the green light over here. There's a BN for you. I was correct. UP is shoving cars in the Hobson Yard behind this train. Might be able to see them in the gaps. Conductors riding the shove. Two tanks, two lumber cars. And I believe it's going to be a 70M. Yep, 70M. That power is usually parked in Valley, Nebraska. UP goes from Valley to Lincoln. Does all the customers here. Interchanges with BNSF here. And then takes power back to Lincoln. Or back to Valley. I have some of them in the O scale. The black BNSF black and white rendering. Here's another BN. There we go. Yeah, they still got a few Burlington Northern cars. A few. There's a lot of them. There's not a whole lot of Santa Fe left since the merger, but there's a lot of Burlington Northern stuff and original paint. Oh wow, our southbound going down to St. Joe sub is coming. Looks like the third engine is Ferromax. First one is their Great Northern paint scheme. Let me pop this out. Get ready for this. There's an old BNSF one. That is our train that's going to be heading down the St. Joe sub right there. Ah, another BN Cole Porter. We got eastbound loaded coal drag and a southbound manifest. Leading locomotive still is in that green and orange. We call it the Great Northern paint scheme. Ferromax is the third loco on this southbound. 992 is leading. -9 and a Ferromax SD70 Acer. This train is on the St. Joe sub heading south. Got two fallen flags coming. Conrail and Southern Pacific. There's our Conrail. And Southern Pacific. I can hear the rear or mid-train DPU on that coal drag. Rear DPU, that was an ace. One single ace pushing up the rear of that eastbound loaded coal drag. Here comes two brand new Union Pacific auto racks. Brand spanking new. Built January 2023. Greenbrier. Ah, another Conrail. Built 78. Another brand new auto rack, built 1022. Another clean one, built 1222. Another Conrail. Yeah. 55. Manifest. Heading south on the St. Joseph. Ah, 76. Rail Fanning Adventures, Hobson Yard. Alright, coming north off the St. Joseph sub. Got KCS power. Pulling a unit train of grain. This is probably going to Bartlett and Council Bluffs. Rail Fanning Adventures. Alright, coming west in the Hobson Yard. Looks like a unit. Oh, nope, it's a manifest. Looks like there's a 70M on this third slot. We got 36 or 3968 ET44C4. $51.58 and an SD70 Mac $89.36. Pulling a manifest in the Hobson Yard right now. My phone in the holder here. So ladies and gentlemen, sitting here just east for Leeds or for the Hobson Yard. Pretty good spot to watch trains all day. You'll see power come out, go back into the yard. More bonnets, yellow bonnets. Trains heading south on the St. Joe's and coming north off the St. Joe's into the yard. Trains running east off the St. Joe's sub. But this is one of the bad things. The big manifests and stuff coming in the yard have to stop and be routed through the yard. So you'll get a lot of trains that get stuck here and miss stuff going behind this. But it is a good spot to watch trains. We'll start this again when he gets rolling again. Rail Fanning Adventures, Hobson Yard, March 20th. Alright, he started rolling again, so here we are continuing. Big manifest heading in the Hobson Yard. Coming off the Creston sub. A 5-pack of 40-footer well cars. And our end is approaching. There goes our Fred. 20th, 2023. I'm here at the east end of Hobson Yard. And UP went in, dropped off cars, picked up this string of cars, and heading back out with their loco. 70M. That's what they use for local work, are the 70Ms. And that engine's actually usually parked in Valley, Nebraska. Or in Mead. I've seen it parked in Mead too, Nebraska. But I'm almost 100% sure that these cars here are going to go back to Valley. They're the customers that are on the UP main line there. Here comes a Southern Pacific gondola. And 2 Mopac gondolas. Two in a row. And as UP is heading east, BNSF is heading south on the St. Joe sub. What a grain train. Alright, March 20th, Hobson Yard. Loaded coal drag. Coming through, heading east on the Crescent sub. They got a limited approach right now. That southbound is still going down, getting out of the way, going down the St. Joseph sub. Yellow over red to get out of the yard. $92.19. That should be an Acer. Followed by $56.23. AC 4400 CW. Ace and another 4400. Second coal drag with the same lash up. Reporting marks on these coal cars are MPWX. Let's watch this buddy go by. MPWX. If there's anything good in here. And the rear DPU on that southbound unit train of corn is an Acer. All right, WX. I'll pick this up again when we get either the mid-train DPU, if it's a Mega, or the rear DPU. Rail Fanning Adventures, link in. All right, so this is pretty cool, because you guys probably never got a chance to see this. So the refueling racks are on the south side of Hobson Yard. So this eastbound loaded coal drag came in, stopped so that they could refuel the mid-train DPU, then pulled out a little farther and stopped so that they could refuel the rear end power. So it's taken quite a while. The mid-train DPU is just getting here. All the reporting marks on this were MPWX, but here comes the mid-train DPU, which I believe is an Ace. Could be an Ace. $84.18. Oh yeah, that's an Acer. And now the second half of this train. There's our Ace. That's the mid-train DPU. And then we'll have about another 100, I think 110 cars. And then the rear DPUs will be coming. So I'll start recording again when the end gets near. As I said, they had to refuel the mid-train and rear DPUs. So I had to pull out, bag in, getting the refueling rack. So Rail Fanning Adventures, Hobson Yard, Lincoln, Nebraska. All right, here comes the rear of the Mega Coal Drag. MPWX stands for Muscatine Power and Gas. The entire train, all the reporting marks were MPWX. And as I said, this train actually stopped, pulled up, refueled the mid-train DPO, then pulled out the second half and shoved the two rear engines in the refueling rack and filled them up. So took a little while to get this one out. Here comes our two rear DPUs. $57.54, $58.68. Or $58.58, my bad. All right, so you got ES44 AC and an ES44 AC, all filled up and pushing their coal drag east. Rail Fanning Adventures, Hobson Yard, Lincoln, Nebraska. All right, March 20th, eastern side, Hobson Yard, Lincoln, Nebraska. Another loaded coal drag heading east. 9022. And 5646. Acer. And 4400 CW. And yeah, it's gonna be a loaded coal drag. Get videos of the DPUs and the rear DPUs if it has any. Rail Fanning Adventures, Lincoln, Nebraska. Sneaking west behind the eastbound. Well, I'm thinking it's going to be a mega coal drag. And there comes CSX or City Rail. City Rail. pulling an empty cold drag west. Alright, this is the second part to this. So we got an eastbound loaded cold drag fueling up the rear mid-train DPUs. But here comes the rear DPUs, 9033 and 9746 on a westbound empty cold drag that had city rail in the front. So, alright, sneaking in behind this eastbound loaded cold drag that's still fueling its DPUs and rear DPUs at the pad. Let's see what we got. Guys, right here, 8481. Acer. Oh, an Omax. This is the empty cold drag from OPPD in North Omaha, going out to the Powder River Basin to get loaded again. It left last night, just getting here now. It's westbound. It'll go up the Powder River, the Sandhill Division up the Powder River mines and get loaded with coal, and then come back to OPPD in North Omaha. Rail Fanning Adventures, Lincoln, Nebraska, east end of Hobson Yard. Rail Fanning Adventures, Lincoln, Nebraska, east end of Hobson Yard. And this is a southbound cold drag that's going to start its journey south on the St. Joe sub here. Weird thing about this train is it's a BNSF train with a Union Pacific engine leading. Cold drag heading south on the St. Joe sub with UP in the lead, 8134. A little weird. A little weird. Next fuel, ES44AC. Well, that's a weird combo there. On a loaded cold drag heading south on the St. Joe sub. A whole lot of coal. Reporting mark is CEFX on the hoppers. Rail Fanning Adventures, Hobson Yard, and Lincoln, Nebraska. Alright, Rail Fanning Adventures, east end of Hobson Yard. Continuation of that southbound loaded coal drag. Going down to St. Joe sub here in Lincoln, Nebraska. It's March 20th. So the front end of this had UP leading BNSF, which is odd because seeing UP power and a BNSF track out here is hilarious. The two of them kind of don't get along. They compete at everything they do. But what's even funnier is it looks like there's a UP engine at the end of this too, as the rear DPU. Maybe either that or it's really faded old 70 Mac, BNSF 70 Mac in art. No, it's a 70 Mac. Really, really faded 70 Mac. 9956. And then an Ace. Rail Fanning Adventures, Hobson Yard, Lincoln, Nebraska. All right, Rail Fanning Adventures, east end of Hobson Yard, Lincoln, Nebraska, March 20th. And just some power pushed up. March 20th, 2023, Lincoln, Nebraska. Lincoln, Nebraska. I'm on the east end of Hobson Yard, and this is going to be a southbound manifest. First car after the Power is one of the Boeing aircraft flat cars. We got KCS middle DTU or middle engine here in the lead lash up. 7864 leading. 4184 second slot KCS, and 7614. And then that really cool Boeing aircraft car, flat car. Saw these when we were in Wichita, where they build the fuselage. Actually saw aircraft on them. That's heading back down there. Pretty big manifest. One of my goals is to go down to Wichita and catch them actually moving the fuselage train. Basically the train full of airplanes that leaves out of Wichita, heads out to I think Wyoming, or not Wyoming, I'm sorry, Oregon or Washington State and Boeing plant, because they do make several aircraft fuselages there. They make passenger planes, and the other thing that we saw where they were making, honestly they look like F-16s, but I don't think they were for our country, or upgrading F-16s. Anyway, so this is heading south on the St. Joe sub, coming out of Hobson Yard. See if we get anything, any fallen flags or more special cars like that Boeing flat car that was on this. That BNSF gondola that went by, that has actual huge I-beams. All three of them actually had huge, like, building I-beams chunked up to get scrapped. Again, it's Rail Fanning Adventures. My name's Rich Bernardin. I am the founder of Rail Fanning Adventures, and I'm here in the east end of Hobson Yard in Lincoln, Nebraska. pretty sure this train is going to go from Hobson Yard to Argentine Yard in Kansas City. Here comes a pretty interesting tank. NCP, Nebraska Corn Processing, LLC. That's cool. Never seen that before. That's a new one for me. Ah, we got Charlie Brown on this.